Hello, so this is going to be a bit of a different kind of video, especially if you know the normal content I make, because unfortunately YouTube has decided that content is worthless and I should just explode, which I was considering, but then I realized I don't really know how to explode. I'm going to have the time code for the actual start of the video just down here, because I'll be honest, I do tend to rant for quite a while, and this intro is probably going to end up being significantly long. But just a brief introduction, I'm Beansy. I normally do gaming stuff, but again, YouTube algorithm has decided to munch me, so I'm not doing that, at least for a moment. I always wanted to make these kind of videos, but never really had the ability to, but we've just moved in, as you can see by the fact that there's nothing behind me except a crab and a dresser, and also a box. I'd love to know what you think of this video if you get, what, a minute in or something like that. I know it takes, what, a while to leave a comment, but I would appreciate any, especially if you've seen my previous stuff and would like to know if you'd like to see me swap to this, or at least make one of these videos every couple of weeks. Love to know what you think, because I am a little bit derpy when it comes to this kind of stuff, so hopefully if you've seen videos like this before about psychic mediums or just general ideas, I'm not an average human, by which I mean I'm a crab. It's a long story, so yes, I'm a little bit more random when it comes to that kind of stuff, so hopefully I will be a little bit more entertaining than maybe the average man will, or alternatively I suck at this and I should just go back to my day job, which is nothing, because they fired me. I don't have money. Okay, look, I spent like 3 hours trying to get the green screen to work. That's why the green screen's there, and I can't get the lighting to work, so it's just gonna be the garbage background. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mess. So I'm done. Maybe in the next video, if there's a video up there, it means that I've made the next one, which should hopefully have the lighting fixed. If not, then shit. But basically, for now, it's just gonna be my room. Leave me alone. I haven't got decorations. Beansy Crab is the closest I have to a decoration right now, so he's there. That's good. That's it. That's all I have. Yeah, this room has nothing in it. But yeah, I can't figure it out. I'm gonna look really white or yellow, I guess, in this video. Just ignore it. Yeah, so the reason this happens is I am basically mega British. I never go outside, so I'm whiter than the lights are. So the complexion's weird. This wall's cream, by the way. It's showing up as yellow. That's just the saturation. It's either that or I look like that dude from Game of Thrones. Just bear with me while I scream about bullshit. The people at the clinic told me I lost my mind. I see no evidence of this. But the topic of today is psychic scam artists. No doubt you've already heard of these guys. I'm a little bit late. I'm pretty sure everybody spoke about these people, what, in the 1920s, back when they were still, you know, a thing. I think they are still around, except everyone knows they're not real, because when they tell you something, you can just look it up on Google now, so it doesn't really work anymore. I was quite into paranormal stuff myself when I was younger, but then I grew up and realized that's not really how science is. Besides, most of the vampires and werewolves are just evolved into furries now. But Beansy, aren't you a furry? You identify as a crab. Wrong, I identify as a crab with a gun. There are quite a couple of big names on this list, like Sylvia Brown, and that's the only name I can remember off the top of my head. I don't have a script. And I'll be covering those as well as some little ones I found. We're going to start off with some of the funnier ones and then get on to the harsher territory, like people who actually scam people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars, have scammed a lot of people, like again Sylvia Brown has, or just the straight up scummy ones where they tell you your child is dead even though they're not, and then stop the police from searching for them. That's an actual thing that happened. So yeah, we're going to talk about all that. But for now, we're going to start off a bit easy with some of the really, you know, kind of funny ones where someone tries to do a thing and it doesn't work because waving a stick at a rock doesn't do anything. Researching this, I'm happy to say that we've actually not gotten more dumb as the years have progressed. Ugh. Okay, some of us haven't. I don't associate with these guys. Leave me out of it. I am a crab, as you can see. That's my real form. I'm a controlled robot. That's my lore. This intro is going to be 10,000 years long. I'm not too good at describing topics, but I will try and sum up some of the clips that I'm using just so you have a bit of context, but that's the best I can do. I have a very, very small brain span. Attention span. So the first dude we've got here went on one of James Randi's shows. Keep that name in mind, it's going to come up quite a lot and I'll explain him later because he's quite a big name in debunking these kind of people and he's basically my hero now. I didn't know about him until a week ago and now I praise the man. Don't really know what his name is, I'm just going to call him Discount Waluigi, who definitely does not know what a salon is. His special power is blowing on a book till the book moves, but not to worry, Mr. Randy's got a devious plan to debunk his entire claim.
Now what I have here is particles of a white plastic.
It's peanuts, like styrofoam peanuts. Completely blocks his power as well. What's the reason he gives for this?
The styrofoam and the lights form electricity which pulls the page.
Yeah, that's not how that works. Does a book absorb static electricity? I do love the dude's technique though. I'm not sure what the hell he's doing.
I have to be to where I can work with something small and then big.
I'm not gonna touch that, to be honest. But yes, he can't turn the page because the peanuts are too powerful for him. That's right, there's more power in the styrofoam, I guess, than his brain. Sure, why not? Not the stupidest thing we're gonna see. Never really understood the whole lying to people get all of their money kind of thing. It never really appealed to me, although it appeals to every single person on this list for some reason. I only really lie to humans in a situation where it gets me more food, and yes, while that is technically stealing people's money, America doesn't really have any laws against doing that if you're a crab, so I'm basically home free. I do have a natural fear of boiling pots of water for some reason though. I'll take this moment to give a brief introduction to who James Randi is for those of you who don't know. Basically, he's a dude who hosted a show saying I'll give you a bunch of money if you can provide evidence that your powers work, if I add a control variable to it, like the peanuts, or putting a box on top of stone. Simple stuff, but apparently it completely negates everyone's abilities to do anything. He hosted a lot of videos. Unfortunately, all the footage we have is really old. I don't know how he even captured it. I think this was like, what, the 1970s or something crazy? Very long time ago, long before video recorders existed, or at least normal ones. He did unfortunately pass away, which is a shame because we still need his abilities today, but he did end up debunking a lot of people and saving a lot of people a lot of money because, you know, they didn't believe anything anymore because they were on his show and it was quite obvious their powers didn't exist. So saved a lot of people a lot of trouble. And again, these scam artists are devious, they will scam a lot of people for a lot of money. Sylvia Brown, for example, was terrified of the man. She wouldn't go anywhere near his show. She'd just be sitting in the coffee shop one day, he'd just appear and she would shit herself. I got that from a journal article. I have evidence. This is my evidence. It's not evidence. So the next victim of James Randi himself is this man I'm just going to call Dennis. Can't remember what his real name is. It's probably in the clip, but I don't care. He's Dennis now. I misspelt he. I mispronounced he. I need some medication. His magical trick is using the power of a wire that wiggles when it's near a stone. He wiggles the rod and it's magic. Iron ore in Minecraft, this man's already found all of your diamonds and now he owns everything with his wiggle stick. So yeah, there's 7 boxes. Basically, he's got to do his little wiggle thing, which always works, we promise, on top of one of these boxes and it'll tell him where the stone is. So naturally, he gets it right on the first try, he doesn't though. But don't worry, he gets it right on the second. No, I'm sure the third try, yeah, he doesn't get it. He doesn't find it. He doesn't find the rock. And of course, Mr. Randi sends the man off the stage with one of the most embarrassing send-offs I've ever seen.
Your results, sadly, seem to be no better than chance.
Look at the amount of sass in that clap. Branching away from James's work for a moment, we've got this dude. He claims to be able to tell anybody's illnesses just by guessing them, I guess, or maybe God told him them.
God is touching that thyroid condition right now. God is touching your nerves right now. God is touching your eyes.
I don't know, man. God is touching a lot of shit.
Lift up your hands, get ready, here it comes.
I'm a little bit alarmed about this dude's mental health, though.
Right now, right now, right.
I feel like if anybody starts screaming like this, we should probably lock them away. So yeah, it turns out the secret is he's being fed information through an earpiece, which should be pretty easy to see based on if he's got an earpiece in, and his wife or something is reading from like these prayer cards. I don't know what a prayer card is, but I guess is that like you write down your illness and then you give it to somebody and then hope God cures it, because that might explain how he knows it. I don't know what a prayer card is. I probably should have researched that before making the video about the prayer cards. I'm a professional, it's fine. I'm not looking at the footage on my laptop. Luckily, this story does have a happy ending, however.
In 1987, Peter Popoff declared bankruptcy.
Yep, he gets sued into oblivion and melts. Now this next one's probably a face you do recognize. It did make the National Geographic after all. Look at the quality of this image. We have images of Mars that has higher resolution, and Mars is pretty far away. It's at least 5 kilometers away from me. You'll see this trend running a lot in some of these videos. They claim to be able to use chi to stop stuff before the stuff gets to them, which seems pretty useless considering they have to be right next to the people to stop them. So moving their hand 5 centimeters further would stop them without using chi. Yeah, it's a weird power. Also, it doesn't work. He basically just screams at dudes and they fall over, and not even his students are convinced by this. Although he does admit to murder right on camera.
I've flatlined several people.
Yeah, if we flatline people, pretty sure we go to jail. That's what murder is. Flatlining people's not legal. Is it? No, it's not though, don't do that. So naturally he tries this on somebody who doesn't believe in it, and shocker, it doesn't work. And of course he has a really good reason for this.
But if the guy had his tongue in the wrong position of the mouth, that can also nullify it.
So if you move your tongue, it doesn't work. Also, if you move your toes, it doesn't work. If you breathe, it doesn't work. And there's a 90% chance it won't work anyway. I do find it funny when all these people go, oh, I'll just try it on this random person that I know it's not going to work on, and then act confused when it doesn't work. Some of these people are genuinely insane. There's another man who does similar stuff, and he again claims to have murdered people.
Body organs can shut off temporarily.
Stop shutting down people's organs. You can't shut down people's organs. So naturally, the reporter tries to get involved to make him use his chi on her, but of course he doesn't do that. Instead, he just bonks her in the face, and then acts super smug about it, as if, you know, the reason she recoiled wasn't because you punched her in the face.
Instead, he used a light tap technique to affect my nervous system.
Wait, you just hit me in the head.
We've also got this guy. I don't have any context for this one at all, but I think the clip explains itself. Single one of you watched that clip and believed any of it? Go home, go to bed, go sleep, read book. His psychic power is just making a man wiggle in place. So again, he makes the mistake of trying this on a dude who doesn't believe in it and gets his shit kicked in. This is actually really fun to watch, by the way. The dude literally just starts beating the crap out of him, and he's trying to stop him using like his magical powers, and this dude's just kicking him in the face. It's kind of like paper, scissors, rock if you just kept choosing paper every time. This next clip is a little bit, well, aggressive. So if you haven't seen this before, basically this dude just teaches his students who are just on a beach. I guess they couldn't afford a dojo. And his power is again chi, where you can like stop people, move them over. But apparently this time you can stop people from moving, like just stop them in their tracks when they're charging straight at you. A lot of these people don't have common sense, do they? I feel like if you're standing on a beach in broad daylight trying to stop a dude with your brain, you probably don't know what common sense means. And to add insult to injury, the woman that he ends up ramming into, by the way, I'll show you that in a moment. He just picks her at random from the crowd, and it's very clear she doesn't want anything to do with this.
You ready? Yes, come here.
That's definitely the face of someone who does not want to be here anymore. She was having fun until the dude decided, now you're the target, you're probably going to die. So her and two people basically stand on the beach and try and stop him with chi. The only problem with that is that's not going to work. So what ends up happening is he just straight up rams into her. But not before the assistant grabs the other assistant, but not her, out of the way of the dude. So the only person who gets injured is the woman she didn't save. Nice of her to save the important people, I guess. Random peasants just get to die. He then yells at both of his assistants as if he didn't just run full pelt at a woman across a beach and run into her face.
Where were you guys? Where the fuck were you guys?
What exactly was she supposed to do? And to add insult to injury, he starts trying to heal her with chi, starts doing the hand thing. Call an ambulance! I've only just noticed this now, by the way, but what's really creepy, you'll see this. The rest of the cult members are just standing there watching this woman on the ground. Has nobody called emergency services for this? I'm genuinely quite worried about her. Again, no context, so I'm assuming she's okay. On a lighter note, we've got this old woman who has genuinely no idea what's going on in this room. So basically, this old woman had a song that she sung to her dad before he passed, and she wants to know if it's going to get famous or something. I should ask her if I'm going to get famous. Actually, to be honest, I think the YouTube algorithms made that very clear with a negative 37 views per video. It's pretty bad. If I spend like 3.5 hours making this video, by the way, only for it to get 2 views, someone's catching on fire. Just deploy Jeff. What does Jeff have? He's got a flamethrower. I'm responsible for 0% of what Jeff does, by the way. He is his own man, crab. But yeah, this woman asks about the song, and this is the response the lady gives.
Is there any hope for my song?
He'll be back, you know, he'll reincarnate. And probably, when did he die?
She has genuinely no idea what's even going on. This is just a quick one. I'm sure you've seen these twins before. They basically just get everything wrong. In fact, I think they've got one thing right ever, and they've been on a million shows. Stop paying these people money. Invest in Jeff. That's not Jeff, that's Beansy Crab. That's the wrong crab. Invest in Beansy Crab too, though. He's good. I don't have plushies yet. I should code those. I don't know how to code things. If you guys know how to code triangles, especially if they're blue triangles with legs, let me know. Where are his eyes? Probably in the bin. Even Harry Hill had to go at mocking some of these psychics. If you don't know who Harry Hill is, he was a big comedian in England.
And he's also mentioned Frank.
His name was Hugh.
That'll do. A male dog.
Dog ghost! What message does this dog bring from the spirit world?
See, if I was claiming to be a psychic medium, I'd just do it for like funny meme purposes. I'd just go into a room full of people and just be like, sit someone down like, yes, sir. The ghosts, they're telling me something important. They're telling me that you, sir, have the dumb. How did he know? Using your IQ points. That's right, I broke into your house and stole your test scores. Why are they higher than mine? Now we get to some of the harder people, the people who do generally really bad things, at least really bad things I could find. For example, this dude, his name is Anthony, and the entire reason I made this video, just so that hopefully one of you know where this dude lives and can confirm if he has melted or not, because I'm assuming the police had eaten him. This is the guy I alluded to earlier, and the situation essentially went that this person made up that her dad had cancer, or her husband had, somebody had cancer, and then went to Anthony to see if there was a different way to cure him because regular treatment wasn't working. Now again, this was made up. This was a plant, but I didn't know that when I first watched this. I thought this was an actual case, and Anthony had no idea it was made up. He assumed it was a real person with real cancer and tried to steal all of their money. So he said, pay us $5,000 and we'll build a candle of you.
With his help, Anthony says the cancer can be gone in 2 to 3 months. By the time the candle burns down, the cancer will be gone.
He knows where this money is going. He knows that it's going to treatment for a man who may well be dying, but he was still perfectly happy stealing it from these poor people. It's a terrible thing to do. You should feel very ashamed of yourself if you ever try to do anything like this. I couldn't find out what happened to Anthony, by the way. Maybe one of you guys will be able to look it up if you're curious. If you do end up finding out what happened to him, let me know, because I'd very much like to hear that the cops broke in and just broke everything before arresting him forever. He gets incredibly angry at the reporters for asking questions about, you know, all the dodgy things he does, which I suppose I would too if I was a piece of shit. And also he makes a very obvious threat on camera.
Either get off of our properties and get the away from us before you get hurt.
Really? How so, Anthony?
Complete moron. He then, of course, curses the reporter, saying he's gonna die of gypsy curses, which, you know, it's a gypsy curse, no one cares. But if he genuinely believes in these curses, then as far as he's concerned, he's condemned a man to die. Which, again, he already did when he offered to steal the money.
Anthony put what he called a gypsy curse on me and said, "You're going to die."
Not a good man. On a more lighter note, we've got some more James Randi coming up for you.
Some psychics go so far as to offer help to the police.
Look at this man. I love the way he speaks. He speaks with elegance. I speak with dumb. So this lady claims to be able to tell what a weapon was used for in like a homicide case or something. Again, she gets it wrong, but the difference here is that she actually tries to give this information to police who luckily don't believe her because she's wrong. But the intent to cause damage is pretty bloody clear. I don't know what she was hoping to get.
Interesting that you examined 6 objects, you got no information from 3 of them, and you got incorrect information from the remaining 3. I wonder what the police would make of that.
What I do is illogical.
He then destroys this other bint with basic maths, which is pretty funny.
Maureen's statements seem to be more general than each of you thought before we took the vote.
And this dude here tries to bluff to a bunch of comedians and gets absolutely roasted.
I looked at his horoscope and I'm sure he's capable of far more than that.
Yeah, but I've looked at him, you see.
That was just a bad idea, man. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. This one's probably my favorite one. It's the sentient table. So basically some woman sits there and she just moves the table around while claiming it's the ghosts, even though it's quite obvious she's doing it. She's got her fingers on the table. Someone from the audience even asks her to take her hands off it, and she's like, no, the energy wouldn't transfer. We could get energy from anywhere, like bullshit land, where I was born. Also, I'm old. So they ask the sentient table a question, and of course the woman just moves it to yes, because he's moving it. I'm sorry, if a single member of the audience didn't call bullshit on the sentient goddamn table, I'm gonna lose my shit. And finally, we get to Sylvia Browner. She's the big dog in this kind of industry. She got very famous and also very rich by lying to a bunch of people. But the Wikipedia on her is very interesting. There's a lot of articles on how she got sued for a bunch of different claims, and there's just a plethora, an entire section full of debunked claims and false claims. Interestingly, no sections for any true predictions she's made, probably because she didn't make any. Which is weird because she made about 2.5 billion of them. You'd think after like, I don't know, the 1.5 billionth, they'd probably call bullshit and sue it into the ground, which I guess some people did. Again, she wouldn't go into James Randi because James Randi would ruin her, which was a smart move, but also, I just love the fact, I love the idea that she was terrified of this man. Beardyman just rolls in and she absolutely pisses off and runs away. It's like creepers and cats in Minecraft. You just deploy James Randi and the creeper's like, no, off to the moon. We put her on the moon that Jeff ate. That's a long story. I need to do like lore. Jeff ate the moon, and he also ate the dinosaurs. In the meteor that killed the dinosaurs, that was Jeff. Again, it's very complicated. You'd understand if you were a huge brain like me, and by huge brain I mean like 3 IQ. As mentioned, Sylvia did pass away, so I don't really want to speak too ill of the dead, but if she's allowed to use the dead people to get money from grieving parents, I feel like I should be able to use the fact that she died to make fun of her because she sucks. What's the YouTube policy on that? It's not great. Make a real algorithm, then I'll follow all of your bullshit. Until then, no. Leave me alone. I'm gonna sit here and be a crab. God, the people who don't know me are gonna be so confused by the crab rules. This is an intermission. This is a crab. This is a crab. Behold him. He's also a pillow. Again, I'll explain the lore. For those of you who don't know me, if you're seeing the channel randomly, first of all, hi. This is like 10 minutes into the video, so good. That's the words. Those are the words I use. Professional. We're great at stuff over here in my tent. Soundproof paneling on the wall I've got. Expert lighting. Studio lighting. Zero brain though. Can't buy those on the internet. You probably can. Can't buy those on eBay. Oh no. Anyway, back to Sylvia. God knows where I am. I've been ranting for about 30 minutes, so who knows how long I've been away from her for. She essentially goes around this entire group yelling a bunch of random bullshit that makes no sense to anybody, which by itself is pretty funny, but I do especially love this dude.
It looks like you're gonna get into show business.
No.
No. She gets so upset about it as well.
No, well, you don't know that yet. You're not a psychic.
You can't know that. You're not a psychic. I told 7 people in this room something was going to happen, and I was wrong 7 times. That is at least 12%. I feel like I should go to a doctor about this. It's called dumb. I hereby diagnose you with die. I think Sylvia knows the entire crowd's laughing at her.
This is a demonstration of what psychic ability can be like.
What, complete bullshit? But they should just tell this dude he's going to be out of work for 2 years, and I think he's like German, so he doesn't even understand what she's saying, but still, you don't know that because you're making it up. Why tell the dude he's going to lose his job for 2 years?
You are going to be I don't want to stay without a job.
Like, imagine if he'd actually believed you, and for the next 10 years he was shitting himself, thinking eventually he'd lose his job. The fuck is wrong with you? Just don't make shit up. I can go up to a human and be like, you'll find a bunny rabbit in 7 days, and they'll be like, oh, cool, because they'll see a bunny at some point and be like, wow, I'm a genius. You can make up stuff that doesn't involve losing your job or death. You can just make stuff up. For example, I'm an epic Fortnite gamer. I'm top 10 on the leaderboard. I'm number 1 on the leaderboard. Bet you didn't expect. Nope, truth. I shall Photoshop it. I might be stupid. That's okay. I'm surrounded with people who are infinitely more stupid than me. Take this man. He plays with Legos and gets significantly more views than fuck. Sylvia does do a lot of stupid shit, but she also did some terrible shit. For example, this first family.
Then Sylvia Browne confirmed their worst fears.
Is he still with us?
Sean Hornbeck was found last week alive and well.
Now, Sylvia, again, is making this up because she's bullshit and has no psychic powers whatsoever. Fucking fight me. So she tells this old couple that their child, who was kidnapped, is dead. First of all, he's not. He gets found 4 years later. However, they do end up calling off the search because of what she said.
The search for Sean was diverted, according to his parents, based on the misinformation Browne had given.
And yes, they probably shouldn't have taken her at face value and called off the search, I agree. But it's not entirely their fault for believing something. They shouldn't ever have been said anyway, especially not with authority in knowing something you have no idea about. So yes, she tells these parents that her child is dead. First of all, if you're correct, what a shitty way to let them know, because if it turns out they are dead, you're taking away the hope that they might be okay just because you're bluffing. And worse still, if you're wrong, they called off the search. This child could have died because of your intervention that shouldn't have even ever happened. I very much am pissed off at this woman, by the way. Jeff got her. No clause given for her death, Jeff ate her. He's a professional assassin. This next clip of her is also completely fucking unacceptable. You might have seen this clip, this is more of a well-known one as well. This lady's husband was killed in 9/11, unfortunately, and Sylvia Browne has this to say about his death.
The reason why you didn't find him is because he's in water.
It was September 11th.
It would be bad enough if it was a civilian that died in 9/11, but you're using the fact that her husband has died, what, for monetary gain, for clout, whatever the fuck you're using it for. He was a first responder, he was a firefighter.
He was a fireman.
He gave his life likely saving other people, and you're just shitting on his name for no reason. What the hell compels a woman to do this? I should read the Wikipedia and see if she was ever given, psychosis? What's it called? Plead insanity? Like, if she was ever diagnosed with anything officially. Because there's no way any normal human does this to anybody. So next we've got this woman, I don't know what her name is, but if you search up Inside Edition psychic scams, it'll probably be the first thing to show up. So in this video, the reporter shows a picture of herself and says, this is my daughter, and she went missing forever. I think technically a dude does it.
To take the case for $400. A childhood photo of me. And obviously, I'm very much alive.
I don't believe she's alive.
Either way, it's made up. Essentially, they use a picture of someone who's very much alive. This psychic says this.
It was a violent passing.
McQuarrie's sixth sense told her the girl was brutally murdered.
Okay, so A, she's not dead. B, if you were trying to convince this dude that she was dead, why would you go into the detail that she did? She said she was... I don't even want to repeat what she said. Let's play the clip again.
It was a violent passing.
Even if you genuinely believe she was dead, you don't know that she's dead because you were wrong. But you told this man, I forget, I think it's his daughter. He's posing that it's his daughter. So as far as you know, his daughter was assaulted to death. It doesn't make any sense. That's a terrible thing to tell anybody, especially claiming that you have evidence and that you know that's what happened. What the hell's the dude supposed to take from this? If you're gonna lie and say she's dead, just say she died. What the fuck is the terrible death thing about? You made it up anyway. I need to look at bunny videos, dude. Oh Christ, I hate these people so much. But the final clip of Sylvia Browne that I have here, at least, there's probably a million other clips, but I don't want to watch them. I'll just get upset. These parents tell Sylvia Browne they want to know the circumstances of their daughter's death. You know what they don't tell her is they already know, they've got the coroner's report, they already know, have a general idea of what happened to their daughter. So Sylvia doesn't know this and assumes by we don't know what happened, they mean they don't have the body. So naturally she makes this up.
I don't know how she died. She was shot. She just collapsed in her room.
Saying she was shot. And the worst part is when they correct her and say there's no way she was shot, we have the coroner's report, she doubles down. This, and again, a lot of Sylvia Browne's ones aren't made up. They're real cases. They're not plants. Like the one with Anthony and the one with whatever chick that name is, I can't remember, like the one with brown hair. Those were plants. These weren't. Sylvia Browne's cases were real. That's the last of the clips I'm going to show you guys. Personally, I can't take any more of this shit. As I said, a lot of the earlier clips were just a bit of fun. Unfortunately, some of these people are quite terrible. There was some, I didn't include the clips, but there was some lady who scammed a dude out of like $500,000 to remove some curse and then ran off to Mexico. Look, I'm sure there are psychics out here now who just do it for the fun of it, right? Or do it to take it as a real job. My point is, they don't do it maliciously. These guys are very malicious. I'm sure there are people who don't do it maliciously, who might genuinely believe in the art, or, I don't know, do it as a festival stunt or whatever they do it. So there's a lot of people who do this legitimately, who are fine, don't worry about it. Just don't let anybody steal your money, cause you harm, anything like that. For those of you who know me, this is a very different kind of video. I haven't really done this kind of thing before, so if you got all the way here, first of all, thank you for watching the entire thing. That's amazing, considering my normal watch time is 1.5 seconds. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, let me know, give me some feedback. I can see the like and dislike ratio, so be sure to use that as its intended purpose, even if YouTube doesn't like it, because oh no, the brands aren't giving us money. If you guys have an interesting topic you'd like to see me cover, I'd love to hear any of your suggestions, again, if you got this far. For now, I'm not really sure what I'll do. I might just do a random game, for example. Gaming's normally what I do. Maybe I'll review Avatar: The Last Airbender episode 522, the episode where they invade with crabs and eat all of the firebenders. Does any of you melt know why my lighting has died? Well, that's decided to work again. That's nice. This is my technician. He's very good at his job. And by good at his job, I mean he sucks. It's hard to do technical things with claws, because, you know, no fingers. So all he really could do was snip the wire, which doesn't help me turn the thing on. So, just occurred to me I've been recording for about an hour and 10 minutes and still have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to end the video now, because I've run out of stuff to say. Really want to go eat a sandwich.